What's up, everybody? Is Ethan fight me on this?
Hi, I'm Jill at Coach Jill. April.
And welcome back. Onto our hearts and joys, I guess. You want to start, love?
It's more of I guess it wraps into my hearts, but also just a curiosity of if what does ADHD slash autism slash dyslexic, what is that category? I want to say mental health, but that's not right. Does that all umbrella under
Mm-hmm.
neurodivergence?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, it's more of a curiosity if those things get worse, and maybe I need to look into it. If those things get worse, one, as you get older, and two, if they have any link to coming off of birth control. Um, because I don't really feel like my brain makes a whole lot of sense these days, and I know I've said that a few times.
Yeah, they're just disorders or learning disabilities.
Um,
Dyslexia in particular is a learning disability.
yeah, I've said that a few times lately with just feeling weird in my brain coming off of birth control, but I don't know. I toggle between are they things that just got ignored when I was little and it's been around forever? Um, Because the first time I noticed I had ADHD was when I didn't live at home anymore. The first roommate I ever lived with love, one day, she was like, I don't think. She's like, is this how your brain always is? Because she was home one day when I was working and I was bouncing between six different tasks at once. She looked at me, she was like, is this how your brain has always been? I was like, yeah. She was like, I'm pretty sure you have ADHD. My whole system was like, what do you mean? And I think it just came from my life was either very curated at home or ignored at home, one of the two, where it never stuck out to me that something was wrong. It was just
Mm.
how I existed. So yeah, more of a curiosity lately of do those things get worse when you're older? Do they have a correlation to birth control? We know birth control masks a lot of symptoms around PCOS and PMDD and things like that, painful periods, heavy flows, whatever. We know that it just masks those problems. So when people come off of birth control, they have all of these issues tenfold, and they've been there the whole time, but birth control's just been covering them up. So then
Mm.
my brain's does it also cover up that category of things? And I would like to say yes because it's hormones, so obviously it's going to shift things, but I just feel like my brain doesn't really make any sense. Like I said it to Ethan yesterday, I'm just tired of not understanding things. Um, and it lands really heavy every time, even when it's not a big deal. I painted my whole office, and it was even my parents came to help, which was great, but my dad gets there and he has none of the things I asked him to bring to help me. And I was like, did I not did I say something wrong? And I was like, where are the things? And he was like, oh, I didn't know you wanted me to do those today. And I was like, so then it makes me feel like I communicated wrong somewhere. Um, and then we took a cabinet off the wall in the bathroom and it's dark gray underneath of it, which is a crazy decision for how little our bathroom is. But that was annoying because now I have to figure out how to paint that so there's not a giant gray spot on our wall. Um, and I thought the walls were just white, and maybe they were at one point, but this house is old and who knows how long it's been since it got painted, and also it's a bathroom, so that's gross. But in my brain, I was like, the walls are white, I'll just cover it with white paint. And then yesterday, I covered it with white paint and learned that the walls are in fact not white. So now it doesn't look better because there's just white patches everywhere. Um, So I called Ethan up the stairs to be like, that's not white. And this is not his fault, but he thought it was funny because he knew the walls weren't white. Um, but I said it to my mom and my dad. And I said it to Ethan and he said, why don't you paint it a different color? And my brain was like, because I don't want to paint a whole, I was like, I don't want to paint a whole bathroom, so I'm just going to paint it white. my parents were like, "Yep, cool, we have white paint." I like told Ethan, I'm like, I'm gonna get white paint for my parents, and he said, he's like, why don't you paint it like one of the other colors we have?
Because we
Um,
got multiple colors. Jill went and got multiple colors for her office just to see what she wanted. So we have readily available paint. And
uh,
yeah.
but in my brain, I was like, no, because I don't want to paint a whole bathroom. But I like didn't say that full sentence out loud, and Ethan just pitched painting a different color, which didn't make sense in my brain. So then when the white paint didn't match, he was like, obviously it didn't match. Like his brain was like, yeah, I knew this wasn't going to match. And I didn't understand that his offer to paint it a different color was to save that from happening.
Can y'all hear where the miscommunication was? Because we had to sit with this for a little bit. And this is, I'm interjecting just to add this piece because I think it's really important for people that navigate these spaces in their own heads and then have to navigate it with other people. Because in that, like, we don't communicate well all the time. We miscommunicate. Our tisms and the way we're wired really miscommunicates. We can have a full conversation and not hear each other because it's, and like in this particular moment, when I came upstairs to Jill and she pitched painting it, she said everything she needed to say to me. I'm going to get paint from my parents to paint it white. I'm going to do this. It's going to be here. And my brain heard that and said, we have paint. I was right. Jill was right. She's going to go, she said a plan in motion. I wasn't there for that plan. It's going to be white. I didn't understand why she had to go get paint if we had paint. And then we had about a 50-minute back and forth about how we were going to paint it white, what she wanted to do, what her aim was, why what I said wouldn't work. And I was like, I still don't quite get it, but cool. I'm proud of you, baby. Like, you're doing your shit. Like, we ended that conversation thinking we had both agreed that white was okay. And we did. But I agreed white was okay, knowing that Jill was only going to paint three walls, thinking, sorry, that Jill was only going to paint three walls, the white that she had mentioned, because of the conversation. Jill thought I said white was a good idea because the walls were white. She didn't say that to me. I didn't say what I said to her. I said everything else except for that part. She said everything else except for that part. Fast forward to yesterday when Jill painted the wall, then this happened because Jill's now running through her head on how did I miscommunicate? How did I not hear the button? But at the same time, like I was the equal party in that because I didn't hear what she meant. It was lost in TISM translation, and now we're here. And I say that all because there was no. Usually, when we miscommunicate as people, but really mean Jill, it's because something was said. We missed something in interpretation, but like everything got said by both parties. In that moment, we both left thinking we had the full conversation. Sound familiar? And then the next day in practice, we hadn't actually had and it affects nobody but us and our time to do this again. But that's not what the frustration's about for Jill or me or supporting her inner frustration. But that there was no actual lack of communication. She just spoke old English, and I spoke the new one with the over the e's.
Yeah, like Ethan was like, oh, she's going to paint those walls white, and then we're going to have new white walls. And I was like, I'm going to paint that white so that I only have to paint that patch, and it's going to match what's already there. Doesn't at all. It's like the brightest white, and the walls are like now beige.
Sorry, and I laugh, and I did think it's funny. I still do. I don't think this is funny for Jill, but when we miscommunicate and it doesn't harm either one of us, like when Jill doesn't set me up or when I don't set Jill off and touch a wound with our miscommunication, it's always funny because like I replay the conversations like you said everything, I said everything, and we still hear, and you said that wall's not white, and it made me laugh so fucking hard because I knew that when I looked at the bathroom when we got here 10 days ago. So to me, I'm like, yeah, I know you. Nobody, and then Jill's upset started because nobody told her that the walls weren't white, including me. I'm a part of that, and she brought that to my attention. I didn't know I had to tell her because I came into the conversation the day before thinking she knew those walls were not white. I missed that part. That's the part that I missed. I didn't know she didn't know that. I didn't know that there was a hypothesis made by three people in the same room. But then it made sense because now we have to pivot more to a place we're trying to settle in, and that adds to the frustration for Jill as much as it does for me. But in the moment, it's still funny because that whole ass back and forth, why pint, You pick the colors, baby. You even like these colors. No, I want it white. All right, you cool. Be happy. And then for it to not be white, and for the whole conversation to play over my head again, be like, wow, we what do you mean? After that conversation, we still weren't on the same page. And so it was funny. It is and will be funny to me when we don't see eye to eye in the most random ways, or don't actually have a conversation the way we think we did on something like white paint.
Yeah, it was just like the second he started laughing, my whole brain was like, I don't actually think this is funny because I don't understand where I went wrong.
Hmm.
And I think that was
But she
more.
didn't go wrong.
Like I told Ethan, I'm like, I had this conversation with 3 people, Ethan included, but like both of my parents were like, yep, white paint. And nobody wanted to be like, these walls aren't white, right? Like, paint them white if you want to, but like,
Mm-hmm.
it ain't gonna match. So it was just like annoying that twofold. I didn't notice, and also nobody
Mm-hmm.
said
Nobody actually said the words it
said the
needed
obvious.
to.
Like I'm sure my parents also know those walls aren't white, but nobody said the obvious thing out loud. Um, so I walked into that being like, I'm gonna paint this gray patch, and bathroom's done, and life is great. No, now I'm painting like quite a bit of
Two
the
out of four
bathroom.
walls instead of a quarter of a wall.
Yeah, so if I would have walked into that being like, I'm gonna attempt to paint it white, and if it doesn't match, that's fine, I'll paint it a different color. But like, I thought painting it white was solving the problem. Now it just created a new one because I have to paint multiple walls.
My heart is currently, or has been since we moved in, settling into this house. Um, for many reasons, by not sleeping, lots of things, and like there's only some spaces, small spaces in the house that I feel like comfortable in, and even those are fleeting at times. And my system doesn't is having a hard time. Like I'm uncomfortable in my body when it's supposed to be quiet time and rest time, which is fucking frustrating. Um, but yeah, just random stuff like that comes with being in a new space and new house. Stuff that's stupid that everybody has to deal with, or at least some people have to deal with, like where our furnace is doing weird shit and has to be fixed. There's supposed to be a guy here today. Um, yeah, it's stuff like that. Like this couch, you can't really see it. It's not on the wall. It's supposed to be on the wall, but it flooded in there and almost fucked up our brand new carpet. And I just like the landlord couldn't have known. They said that they got the furnace 6 years ago. The guy that was here to repair said it's from
He
2002.
read the wrong. I went in there because I'm like, how the fuck
Yeah,
are we gapping 15 years on a furnace? But
yeah.
there's 2 stickers on it. One is from the old furnace and one is from first call.
Hmm.
So our landlord's right. The guy, I think, just read the
Read it
first
wrong.
sticker he saw.
Yeah. So to that point, like the landlord's been really great, and that's probably the only saving grace in any piece that I have is that he's been on it like day up, minute of
Yeah,
so far.
within 10 minutes of me, because Ethan wasn't home when I discovered there was water in our furnace room. Um, within 10 minutes of me texting him about it, he had a plumber
There's
on
already
the
someone
way.
on the way. Yeah.
And like, no questions. Like, he saw the pictures and he was just like, I'll call a plumber. And then was like, this guy's on his way. He has your contact. Blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know if you need anything. We'll get this sorted. And like, yeah, to
Yeah.
his credit, it was like no hesitation, no questions asked, just
Yeah. Which has been very, very like settling in, calming in my system because it means that like I don't have to fight multiple people in this process. Usually, you fight somebody, either the landlord or the serviceman. And so far, I haven't had to fight anybody. The
this.
serviceman that came from first call when I wasn't here to actually fix the furnace on Monday was a rude dick, which is hard for me, and only rude because when someone opens your door and says hi, and no one says, and then you being the person entering someone's domain doesn't say hi back. Get the fuck out of my house and send someone with some fucking manners.
Like he
Like
was,
I mean that with genuine hatred. Fuck you if you're a serviceman and don't greet people at their door. I don't give a fuck if you're there to do a job. You're also getting paid a fucked up amount of money to do the service call. So have some fucking decency and say hi to people that answer your fucking door. So that happened.
yeah, I had to ask him after, like, I literally opened the door and I was like, hi, and he just, like, walked in. I was like, okay. And, like, I am a female home alone, so I'm just gonna go upstairs and take my dog with me and
So there's that. So
let
I'll
you
be
do
home
your
for the
thing.
next one because Try walking past me into my house.
I did ask him about something else, and he like explained it to me, and that was fine. But like I had to be like, "Hello, can I ask you a question, please?" Or else I don't think he would have spoke to me the whole time.
What was I talking about? I set the basement up, and this is where I feel safest at the moment. And yeah, when I can feel a tangent. When I talk about safety like that, like I'm 35 years old, I'm 200 pounds, and I can hold my own. There's not many things that I'm worried about, that I fear, that actually scare me in this life. I didn't ask for that. That's just a byproduct of the life that I've had to live. But when I talk about safety like that, like I talk about that for little Ethan, for the 2-year-old, the 3-year, 4-year-old, the 5-year-old, the 6-year-old, the 7, the 8-year-old, the 9, the 10-year-old. I had a parent that was fucking me. I had another parent that was letting it happen. I had school teachers that knew something was up but didn't care. I had doctors in hospitals asking so many questions except for the right ones. I had churches hugging this man, loving this man and his wife. So when I'm unsettled as an adult and I have nowhere to go, the places I want to go are bad for everybody, including me. The places I end up when you don't have safe spaces are bad for everybody, including me. When I talk about safe spaces in my home, it's because I don't know what home is. I have fleeting concepts of what home is. So to be in four walls that you pay for, to not be safe or feel safe or land as safe in it, is exhausting when you have the processing ability to understand it. It's exhausting when you know you're 35 years old and you don't feel safe anywhere. A version of you feels so unsettled and shook that it doesn't let you rest because they're not resting. They have to be on alert. It's what goes on inside this brain, inside this body every day when these things happen, when I can't sleep, when I'm fishing around for movement or ways to distract me from the fact that I'm sitting still in a space that isn't mine. The harder existing in this life with what's happened to me, trying to process through the lens of I'm perfectly safe without knowing it.
Yeah, it's hard because there's not a lot, like from my end, there's not a lot that can be done to help a lot of the time either. Like, the basement's really the only space that's like fully set up. And that just comes with getting into a new place. Like, it feels never ending for a bit. Like, we were in our last place for 6 months and we're like barely fully settled. Like, there was still like art that didn't get hung up and boxes in the basement that didn't get unpacked. So
I kind of gave up when I realized like it was, again, to the same point, like what was the point of settling?
where at least this house, like, I'm comfortable. Like, I painted my office because I'm like fairly confident, especially with based on how our landlord, like, that was a little bit of a test. Because our last landlord would have been like, oh yeah, I'll send a friend over to look at it. And my building manager in my apartment would have told me she didn't care. So it makes it a little bit more comfortable to settle here, knowing that like our landlord will take care of the space and in turn like make sure we're taken care of in his space.
Yeah.
But
which
other
makes me
than
want to take care of this space. I get outside of not settling. It makes it easy to want to make this a space for us, for me, for you, for a while, like a long time.
yeah, and I think it's hard because there's not a lot. Like, I've asked Ethan, like, is there something I can do? Is there something we need to do? Is there something that like needs to change in the house? I like that he feels safe down here. I find him down here often. And it's even like he fell asleep on me on the couch a few days ago, and I told him he could stay sleeping down here, but he was like, no, no, it's okay. Like, I'll come up. And then he didn't sleep. So it's just knowing that, like, this is a default for his system right now. And that's fine. And at least there's a space in the house that is safe. Um, so just the only thing I can do is encourage him to be where he feels the safest. Um, and as we settle the rest of the house, I'm sure that will help as well. Ethan talked about getting somebody, what's it, smudge?
Mm-hmm.
I want to do like a cleansing pot on like the witchy side of things, like just some things that I think will help kind of clear the space, clear the energy, set up our crystals, things like that. So hopefully, as we get more pieces of us into the house, like even our room right now just kind of feels like a room with a bed in
Mm-hmm.
it. Like none of our frames are up, none of our pictures are up. Um, Even to me, like I can sleep anywhere, but it doesn't feel very settled in our bedroom. Um, so probably putting some effort in towards that
Yeah, I think
would
it's
help.
also like it's weird to not have a space upstairs, because we have for so long. I have for so long. In my last two houses now, I've had a loft in some way, shape, or form to have an office, and it's like you can't hang out upstairs. Like I can in the office once it gets set up, but it's even still, it's like it's not. It's a closed room. Whereas like we had the loft where it's open space. So adapting to that in my system, as you were talking about, I could feel that was making me uncomfortable, and it's yes the lack of what do you call them? Living spaces upstairs. Uh, so that there's a whole floor, much to like Noel's experience of the space, that I don't feel settled on because it's where I go to sleep or try to find rest, and I'm not doing that, so that I don't want to be
Yeah,
upstairs.
like the only purpose for upstairs is sleeping for you
Yeah.
right now, and it's not happening. And I do like want to set up my office. I want to do it all right now, but I know like money wise, I probably moving's expensive. We all know that. So as much as I want to settle every space in this house right now, it is something that everybody knows you have to like spread out
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. So as we kind of finish putting the pieces together, I think that'll help. Like we know we want to get rid of the couch upstairs and like put a new space in there. So it just feels like a lot of our spaces are good enough for now, but not where we want them to be, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And knowing that it's going to change is probably not helpful for your brain either.
Yeah, I am also like as much as there's just things. There's things to adjust, and I'm sure I'll feel settled over a while. In my brain, like I really have started to make grips with exiting that version of me because I have a gym. We have Millennium. We have these things, and like there's just things that I would change about the life that we live. And I know that another part of my unsettle is that I've said this many times in the last month. I've been saying it for a year, but really in the last 3 months, like I don't know how to say it without monogamous language currently, but just incomplete. I love Jill with most of my being, and there's still so much love for another person. I'm sure there's a few people that can get in on this love, but like really, yeah. I miss a third body.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think I miss it for multiple reasons. For me, as much as it is cool to, my reference again is Nicola, to for me to have somebody else to go to or to have spaces to be in, but honestly, more importantly for you, to have a space to be away from me with somebody that's not me. I miss that for you.
Yeah, I miss that too. And I can feel that I'm like, when Ethan cries, it makes me cry. um, I can feel that I'm getting like very good at existing alone
Mm-hmm.
Alone's in air quotes. There's a human beside me right now. But Ethan's probably watched it happen lately where I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm good on dating. I'm good on friends. Uh, and this is how it was. Like, before Ethan, and he will tell you this for free. My last monogamous relationship was long distance. So even though I was in a relationship for like 2 years, I saw him once every like 3 months, and that was like arguably perfect. Um, Especially in monogamy, because monogamy is
the amount
very
of women that were just like, that sounds ideal.
like, especially in monogamy, like it's very like you and me always 24/7.
Yeah.
Let's hang out, and I was just like, please get away from me with love. Like I used to joke that like I would be fine, like if I was with somebody, and I still stand on this. Like I love getting to hang out with Ethan as much as we do, but we also have gotten really good at like existing in the same house without existing beside each other. Um, like I'd be all good if somebody worked out of town or I saw them once every 2 weeks. Like I'm just not that type of person. That I think it's deeply impractical unless you live with the person
Mm-hmm.
to see them that frequently anyways. Um, but I can just feel that I'm getting like real good at being alone. Like I'm just like outside of Ethan, like I'm good. I'll go watch a show by myself. I'll go color by myself. Like I go live on TikTok, which I think like bridges that a little bit, but like that's the internet. They're through a
Mm-hmm.
phone. Um, and like I'm just good, and I know that can get.
I think people are also gonna have a hard time with the being alone, and I didn't challenge you on it because even though Jill and I are in a relationship together, we are equally alone in the life that we live, far greater than monogamous people. Because you are never separated, everything is intertwined, and you will never have your own identity ever again until you divorce and lose that fucking name you took. But that will never not be the concept or the case for Jill and I. Jill, as much as we have a lot intermingled, that's a whole ass person right there. And she does fuck off from me all the time, even within these four walls.
Yeah, I just also know that that gets a little bit like not dangerous because like I'm actually fine existing solo. It's a little bit like concerning for people that think you need to have your life intertwined. They're like, what do you mean
Yeah.
you like I'll just be alone. I'll go do things alone.
Jill's aversion to codependency is her fucked up ability to do everything on her own because she has to. So when those two things fight, it's fun to watch. It's fun. Giggle. It's just fun. It's fun to watch because like as much as Jill wants to work on her, I can do this shit by myself.
I can do it by
She
myself.
just like can. Like it's just it's yeah, it's a fun dichotomy in a person to watch because it is like she really can do this all by herself. She doesn't need me. She's never needed me. She will never need. She won't need me tomorrow. She won't need me the next day. She chooses to want me, which is cool. But like doesn't actually need to piss off about this house. She could have done it by herself. The last house, she could have done that by herself, and the world still said no. You need a man. No, it didn't. Doesn't need a woman either. Likes them.
Yeah, and I'm just like very okay right now, like putting my head down and working and sorting out our house and doing whatever I want to do. And it's not like concerning currently. Um,
It never concerns you.
and
That's
yeah,
just how
like
you are as a person.
it doesn't bother Ethan. Like it's
It would bother me if you went from enamored all me to that. But this is I signed up for this bitch.
it's actually my pet peeve on the internet when like I'll it happens most frequently with cleaning, which is like I know it's some like lady in her house being like, my husband's never cleaned a dish one time, so then she comes in my comment section being like,
Where's your partner?
why isn't Ethan helping you? Because I don't fucking want him to. Go
First
away.
of all, he's currently picking up a couch outside on his own, moving it from downstairs to upstairs. I'm cool in here making this thing do it sparkles.
Also, like if there's
Like,
Ethan is very aware of this thing about me of like most things I would rather do alone, and like the toxic side of that is because I'll do it better, and like but the healthy side of that is like I'm
except for the dishes.
like yeah I'm really bad at dishes, but like I'll admit my fault.
Like this is the one thing when you just the only time where I know you don't clean better than me.
But like I actually like
only time. That's not true.
don't need help most of the time and also don't want help most of the time. So when people are like, why isn't Ethan helping you? Because like if I asked him,
if you actually watch me try to sneak in to help, it's a good thing I can catch her and can fuck her up because like she wants to fight about it.
if somebody was like, you need to redo it because you missed a spot, I'd be like, great, this is now your job.
I'm gonna use you to do it. Actually,
congratulations, you have a new job.
Oh no, I can take you. I'm gonna dip your head in the bucket and everything.
But yeah, and I'm sure there's some people listening that have a person in their life, unfortunately, that's like, that needs to be redone. Because I lived with a roommate. I lived with a roommate who would be like that, and I would like clean the entire house, and she would come home and be like, why is this like that? Congratulations, I'm never cleaning your house again.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I don't actually complain about cleaning.
Congratulations.
Except for the bathroom, but I'll just clean it.
Bathrooms are like the one thing I take very seriously because they're actually disgusting. And like somebody's gonna be like, everything's disgusting. You're right, but bathrooms is like a whole different level of disgusting.
I don't know why we don't talk about that more, actually. Because this weird boy job, girl job thing about bathrooms and peeing. I would like to meet the asshole that made the toilet. And like, if you go on TikTok and you search up girls fake peeing because their husbands have had enough of their shit about the bathroom, it's the one bit of misogyny, patriarchal bullshit that I'm actually on. Because if you have a dick and you stood over a toilet that's 2 feet from where you are, you know what? Here's a little science experiment for all of you. I want y'all to get a bucket. Just a bucket. It can be an ice cream pail. It can be a 5-gallon. It can be your cleaning and mop bucket. I want you to fill that half filled with water, okay? Then I want you to take a pitcher or a water bottle or anything and fill that with something yellow. It can be apple juice. You can put food coloring in it just to really send home the thing. And then I want you to stand with the bucket on the counter and your face is going to pretend to be your knees and shins. And you're going to, from above your head, slowly pour the water out into that bucket. And I want you to tell me what you feel happened. Why don't we talk about the fact that there is piss on every dude's pants and feet at all times? Why don't we talk about the fact that whoever designed urinals and toilets was a fucking rectal swab of intelligence? I actually don't understand the concept that I have to shower. That's why I pee in the fucking shower. It goes away from me, goes down the drain, and the water continues to wash what I know would have hit me in the fucking leg because I've been a boy for 35 motherfucking years. No, whoa, my God. Fuck's sake. Who the fuck put that thing so fucking far away? And it was like, no, you can hit it. And it's not because we don't hit it. Some of you motherfuckers suck. It's what happens when liquid meets liquid with force.
I also don't really understand because, like, it takes, this might be TMI, but it, like, takes me a second to, like, get going when I'm peeing. So, like, do you guys just have to make it shoot as far as you need?
I am autistic, so I've also learned so many times, like, the reason I can hold my bladder for 12 hours is because I'm autistic. I knew that. But the reason that I all of a sudden have to pee now is also because of that fact, which fucks me up. No, it's not like that. You learn, like, because it's a lot like anything. With enough repetition, you learn. So you learn when you don't push, how far it shoots out your fucking dick. And you learn how when you do and you can't do, you're like, I gotta pee now, and you're fighting it, and you're like, your butt's back so your muscles relax so you can get your pants out, so when you stand up it just happens. That's the scarier one because it comes out with force. Like it needs out now. It does. So like there's multiple power levels all the time, and if you're uncircumcised and you're not paying attention, there's a fucking elephant trunk, and I know you motherfuckers have seen them niggas shoot water at each other. It's the same concept. What else happens? It's a lot. And I'm actually pissed off about it. Like, why did we design toilets that way? Urinals are barely better, but because they're vertical, if you pee right at the bottom corner, it like catches it and drops it in. And that's what you have to do. If you hear me pee, because tism, I pee on the side of the toilet to the best of my ability so that as much of it goes down and gets caught in and slides down, and there's still splash and spray back. Anyway, I feel better. What were we talking about? What's your joy, love? How the fuck did we get there? Can't wait to watch this back.
My joy. Okay, well, my joy is that I have like a few things that are like making this house feel more like a home, and like that as a whole is my joy. But the fact that our landlord seems like he actually gives a shit about the house we live in, crazy. I know that's like how it's supposed to go, but
you would be fucking stunned at how tough we've had it.
Which is like, I'm not gonna tangent very long on this, but like, it's crazy to me that landlords don't care about taking care of the house they own. Like, I might live in it, but you fucking own it anyways. So like, weird flex to not care about the property you own. Our landlord actually like seems to care. He also gave us like, freedom is a loose term, but
sorry,
like,
you keep talking. You said that I need to text this man.
He was fine with me painting upstairs, which like, that's a whole new room. If you follow me on TikTok, you've seen that I painted my office. So that's nice. It feels nice to like not, in our last house, I was worried about like what we could do / couldn't do / what we were going to get in trouble for / what they were going to get mad about at the move out inspection. Where at this house, I don't feel that like looming anxiety and stress. So office got painted, which feels nice. Our landlord actually like handles things in a timely manner, which is nice. I had something else, but I don't remember. Oh, this is a weird one, but Ethan will probably agree. Uh, we have the washer and dryer in this house actually washes and dries our clothes. And somebody's gonna be like, the fuck do you mean? Yeah. In our old house, our washing machine like didn't drain properly, so sometimes the cycle would end, and I'm not even kidding you, the clothes would be so fucking wet. Like, you would pull something out of the wash and it would like run out full of water. Where you'd either have to like respin it or you'd have to dry it for like literally 3 hours. This washer and dryer doesn't do that. It like smells clean when it comes out of the wash. It's fully dry when it comes out of the dryer. And every time I'm just like, oh my God, this is great. So just a few things where I'm like, oh yeah, this already feels like more of a home than our last place.
I agree with you.
Did you say you're texting her language?
I just said that we were supposed to have someone. They were supposed to be back today. We haven't heard from them, so if you could check. We aren't out here next week, so we're kind of running out of time. If I took the day off to be home for this, so if you could let me know, that would be great. You're about to get the text anyway, so. Yeah, I agree already. It feels more of a home than our last place. I would say that and to echo what Jill said. Yeah, the only one that I can think of was I finally got to see pink Northern Lights.
Oh yeah, that was cool as shit.
I've been on this planet for 35 years and have always, like, I love the Northern Lights. It's fascinating. They're so beautiful. Everybody knows this, but it's just like an exorcism fascination. And I've always, like, I've seen many colors, but never seen the pink and reds. And I never thought I would in the city. I always thought I'd have to be in the mountains or somewhere out of light pollution. And to have Jill call me upstairs and to walk out and see it last night from my deck, just in the moment of all the chaos, was fucking incredible. Just fucking incredible. I've never thought I would see it like I thought I would see it at some point in my life. Never thought I would see it from the city, let alone right off my back deck there. And they were around for about an hour. I'm sure so many of you saw the posts and updates, and some of you probably saw them. But just I was seeing photos from all over Alberta. I don't know how far they reach, but I know that there's people in Banff taking videos, and like we're up in Edmonton. That's 5 hours from here, and still we're seeing the same red and pink northern lights that they were, which is just fucking incredible. Um, so yeah, I would say my joy of recent memory is just getting to share in that moment. Jill and I see a lot of weird and cool solar events together.
I've
We see
only
lots of
ever seen a shooting star with Ethan,
yeah,
fun fact, and I've seen like 4 of them with him.
yeah, yeah. Like it's been kind of funny. Whether we're here or in the mountains too, they've been a healthy split. We saw one in Vancouver. Um, yeah, just that. I think it was just beautiful to witness something so just majestic and fascinating. Really cool. Um, to actually get into our fucking episode, we had put out to you guys on TikTok, and we got a couple of solid questions in. Um, so, Jill, how would you move through low libido slash intimacy issues when struggling with body image and self confidence? I'm gonna
Uh,
let you go first.
so like I'm struggling with confidence in myself,
Yeah,
and
your
it's
own body
causing
image and self confidence is really low, and it's taking away from your sex drive.
um easier said than done,
But
but
also, the answer is in the question, I think.
I think like up front, stop pressuring yourself into feeling like you have to feel a certain type of way. Like
Mm-hmm.
we all ebb and flow, and like me personally and me with Ethan, like we ebb and flow with our own sex drives with each other, and it's never really like it's never a stress directed from one of us to
Mm-hmm.
the other of like a why isn't this happening, um which is nice to like not have to worry about like are they gonna say something. So I think like if needed, having the conversation of just being like not feeling so hot, um still love you, still like you, still want to be close to you, whatever, and then not feeling like you have to pressure yourself into being like, but I have to be
Mm-hmm.
this way, or I have to do things, or I have to be intimate, or whatever. Like the people that you are with, partner wise, in that way, in whatever capacity, um, should love you and think you're cool and great,
Mm-hmm.
whether you're being intimate or not. Um, and then the second part of that would be like, where is that low confidence coming from? Like, is it because you're not taking care of yourself the way you need to? Is it because you don't like the way that you look? Is it because you think you're supposed to look a certain way? Like figuring out where is that feeling of low confidence actually coming from, and is
Mm-hmm.
it within your control, um, to change it as well? Like an example I can think of is like I think a lot of people lose their confidence when, let's say, they like lose a job or
Mm-hmm.
something, because for a lot of people that's like a I'm bad at something, which is
Mm-hmm.
why I lost my job, and that's a hit to our confidence whether we process it that way or not. But like you getting fired from your job is actually not something you can control, versus
Nor does
like
it affect your worth.
yeah, versus like, oh, I haven't been feeding myself properly and I haven't moved my body in 4 months, and like those are things you can choose to control and choose to work back into your life. A big thing for me and self confidence is more on the confidence and the body image side, but they all kind of play together. Is like actually keeping the promises you make to yourself, and that can be as simple like the one I'm the worst at is waking up in the morning. And like telling myself I'm going to and then not doing it. But like every time you say you're going to do something and then choose not to, that affects your relationship with yourself and your confidence and your like, yeah, confidence in trusting that you can actually do things you say you're going to
Mm-hmm.
do.
Yeah, I think you said the last part really well. It you break trust with yourself, and you know how hard it is to gain trust with other people. Try lying to yourself and knowing you did. It's hard to call yourself out, and so you won't, and so you don't do anything about it. Because why would you call yourself out? Because you already know you did it wrong. So I don't need to call myself out to make myself feel worse about doing the thing. But it's not calling yourself out. It's having a conversation with yourself. I'm guilty of this one too. More often than anything else, I'm guilty of for letting myself down. It's saying I'm going to do something for me and then not doing it. But then I can't trust me to do the thing I need to do to take care of me. It's why body composition doesn't change. If we want to really break this down to the professions that we're in currently, and I live this, and I've lived it, and have lived the change, and have lived the losing, and have lived the change again, and I'm currently in a state of changing. If I can't trust me to give me what I need, then I will hold everything in hopes I can find it. Bad energy, sugars, fats, exhaustion. All of these things stay because the system goes, I need it. I don't know where it is, but I know if I get all of it, I can find it. Because I can't trust this nigga to give it. But the moment that I'm consistent, the moment I wake up to walk, the moment I wake up to read, I should go to the gym, on time or not, but on time's better. I get my steps. I'm drinking my water. I do that day one. I still wake up feeling like shit day two, but I do it again day two, and I'm not so shitty on day three, but still don't feel the best. And then on day three, I do it again, and day four happens, and my system goes, what's going on? And then day five happens, and my system goes, and then day six happens, and now I'm reaching out for a handshake and an agreement that if you keep going this way, I can start letting some of this shit go. It's the exchange we make in taking real care of ourselves. We stop holding on to shit we don't need.
Yeah, and it's twofold for a lot of people, like that underlying stress from I said I was going to do a thing and now I'm not doing a thing, and I know I didn't do the thing and I feel crappy about doing the thing, but like I can't say it out loud because then other people don't know I'm not doing the thing. That underlying stress is not productive for anything, for libido, for confidence, for changing body composition, for anything.
Because if I know that, Jill knows that.
And I say this to people all the time: when we hyper focus on a result, example, fat loss, whatever, we're far less likely to actually get there because all you care about is fat loss happening. You don't actually care about all the things that it takes to make that happen.
And you're hypercritical of yourself along the way because you're focused and can't see.
It's not good enough. I didn't lose enough. Even if the scale goes down, it didn't go down enough, whatever. Versus if you focus on the habits and routines that will get you there, you're going to find more progress and confidence with those habits and routines. And in turn, you're going to create fat loss. But you got to stop hyper focusing on the end goal and actually like put some effort towards all the little things that are going to get you there. If you can look at yourself and be like, no, I'm working out enough, I'm taking care of myself, I'm sleeping well, I'm working on my mental health, I'm drinking my water, blah, 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 and you're still have low libido, then that's another conversation of, is there something else going on that we need to look into? But like, you better be real honest with yourself if you're actually checking all of those boxes first.
And to even further that, because we do this common denominator, what Jill's saying is you're lying to yourself. She just won't tell you that because she's nicer than you. Because you just like, if you're doing all of those things, I will challenge you to your fucking face. Who or why are you doing those things? Because it's wonderful to want to feel good in your skin. But if you skip feeling good in your skin and go right to having a libido and gratifying that by being attractive, you gloss over the most important foundation in it being about you. So then it can always be taken from you. And I will speak to this from my own story. because I lost 100 pounds, and I have been in this industry for 15 or more years in some way, shape, or form, an athlete and all the things. I was always big. I was always depressed. I was always the thing. And even when I was healing, when I was taking care of myself in the gym, when I was starting to do, I couldn't fucking make progress anywhere, left, right, center. I was strong as fuck at almost 300 pounds, jumping good mornings at 400 pounds. For those of you that don't know, is when you put a bar with 400 pounds on your back, and instead of squatting it, you deadlift it and then jump in the air. Why? Because I was an Olympic weightlifter. But that was just because I was big and strong. I was always strong, but I was always hateful of myself. No matter how strong I got, it was never enough for me. I didn't have a body I wanted. I was never could never be strong enough. I couldn't get enough to fill the hole that I was trying to fill. It wasn't until all of it came crashing down when I was post suicide attempt in 2019. I walked away from a 5-year relationship with the mother of my child. I stepped away from everything that I knew in that moment because I was still dying. And I was still dying doing it all right because I was doing it for everybody else. My kids saved my life. It started the ripple effect that ended the relationship with her mother. It ended that because I was going to die in that relationship fighting for something I was never going to achieve because it was always about everybody else. When I walked away and made the core conscious decision to know what it was to love myself, I'm going to answer that question every day for the rest of my life if I can. But at least for the foreseeable future, this is about Ethan. The way that I changed, and you guys can go back and look at it, physically, it was the physical manifestation of what was changing in here because it was for me. Because when it went left or right, it was never about someone else being able to take the thing from me. You couldn't fucking knock me off this goddamn path if you wanted to because it was mine. And I didn't have to protect it. It protected itself. Somewhere in there, I forgot some of those things I learned because I'm back to hating myself. I'm back to putting value on the way I look from a concept long before because of some of the careers that I have now. I am having to relearn how to utilize the gym to look a way that I feel confident putting out into the world. Well, you look good now. You're right. I do. Oh, I know that. I am a beautiful chocolate man, and I have got a great smile and a beautiful voice, and all this shit up here, and I've got big ass hands, and I've taken good care of myself. I am all the things that you know me to be and more. But in realizing that I can be better, I am currently trying to bridge this gap of better, and I've been missing for a very long time because it's been about being perceived as better by everybody else. This is new. Being a model like this is new. Being in these spaces is very new to me. And I'm learning on the fly in these new spaces that I have to gain some new skills and new tools and ways to use my tools for me. I've made it so far in modeling because I had that concept. And it's turned into, you're good at this. And I let that muddy the fact that I was doing it for me. I say this all with so much confidence because I'm going to have to do this again, where I need to make it about me because it can be taken so quickly if I do it for anybody else.
Yeah. I think there's always signs that something's not right.
Sorry, because I'm watching you do that, and every time so far that you've been talking, I've been working on it. And
We
so
should
when I
just go
look
get them.
back,
I should just order.
like I literally just took these two off, and I just watched you, and I'm like, get it. Sorry, baby, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just was team get that color off of you real quick there.
What are
Holy
those
shit.
called? A Dremel?
A Dremel tool, yeah.
I should order
Holy
one so
God.
that I don't
Sorry,
end up
everybody, I
doing
totally
nails.
interrupted her, but like, I can hear her picking, but because I can, it's keeping me from picking. But as soon as I looked over, I just wanted to see that piece come off. Holy hell.
Yeah, I should just order one so that, because I'm gonna wreck my nails
No, I
picking
feel
the
that.
nail polish off.
But,
Um,
yes, sorry, baby, that's
yeah,
my fault.
I think there's always signs that you're not doing something for the right reasons, or you're not with the right people while you're doing the thing. Like, I say this with holistic coaching all the time, your body will always tell you. Whether you choose to listen or not is your decision. Ethan shared his example. When I was in my most like toxic relationship, I had the worst skin. Like,
Mm.
if I show you pictures from that, I've never had bad skin. Okay, I've had bad skin 2 times in my life, but not when you're supposed to. Like, when I was
Mm. Yeah.
going through puberty, like, my skin was fine. I would get one singular pimple every time I would bleed, and that was it. Like, in junior high and high school, I never had bad skin.
I like that
Um,
there's times that I love you, and there's just times that I just like I'm confirmed I'm with the right person because when you know your body well enough, and you're like, hey, well, singular pimple, this region or right there, one of two every time I bled. But other than that, I was good. Hearing that was just one singular every time.
yeah. And then you fast forward to like the relationship I was in for 4.5 years. My skin was so bad. And I look back at pictures and I'm like, how did I not know? And like, I knew, I just like didn't want to say the thing out loud. And then the second, like, not even being dramatic, the moment I ended that relationship, my skin resorted itself. What felt like overnight. It probably took like a month, but like it felt like overnight because my skin was so bad for so long and I didn't know why. And then all of a sudden, I let go of this relationship and my body was like, thank God. Now we can
Mm.
get rid of all these other things too. And even like I saw an osteopath at the time, slash massage therapist, and you can believe in this or you cannot, but like they say that the right side of your body is personal. So if you're like holding any tension, any stress, anything that's like affecting you personally, it'll be held in the right side of your body. And my massage therapist like could not get my
Mm.
hamstrings or my glutes to release. And then I ended the relationship and saw her like 2 weeks later, and she literally was like, what did you do in the last 2 weeks? Because the entire right side of my body, like my right foot would fall asleep when I was standing up. That's not supposed to happen. Um, and she was like, what did you change? So as hard as it is to take a moment to like look inside, like there is signs. Um, Ethan spoke to his as well. Like there's always signs that like something's not right. I'm not doing this for the right reasons. I'm not doing this around the right people. I'm not doing this with the right people, whatever it may be. There's always something that your body's trying to be like, could you fucking pay attention, please? It's just
Oh, my
whether,
stomach's upset. Like I always feel like I've got to take a weird shit in the morning.
if you want like a very direct example, anytime I would have sex with my ex, I would get like the worst cramp in my like lower abdomen, like to the point where I would be like driving home and I would have to like pull over on the side of the road because I actually was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Yeah, that was literally my body being like,
You don't want to
stop
do this.
doing that. So there's always a sign. You just have to actually take a step back and pay attention,
And like,
as hard as it is.
take a step back. We say almost cavalier sometimes when it's like you really got to like pause and look at what you're saying. But I would offer you to think of take a step back as like do a little more math because up front, this isn't the thing. This is the trigger. This is the button that was pressed. This is the tripwire that was crossed. And then even like here, this isn't the thing. This was the most recent bits of what the fuck experience with this trigger. And then somewhere, like one more step back, you start to realize this thing comes from when you were 9. And that's like the concept of parts theory, of understanding that along your life, there were versions of you that took a wound and now it manifests this way as an adult or this way at this time of life. And we forget and we think that it's actually this problem, like sex and intimacy. But if you reduce it one more time, you just don't like what's happening. But if you do reduce it one more time, you don't like what's happening because you saw this happen at this age over here and you swore you'd never let that happen to you. Whatever, like there's, take a step back doesn't mean like, no, like just stop. You're going to figure it out. It means like you, you need to take a couple of steps back. Regress one time to where you were the last time this happened. Regress again to the actual time this happened. Because that's the version of you that's currently wounded and hurt and needs a hug and needs help and needs support, whatever it is. But until we can figure that out, we're going to be stuck spinning tires in intimacy here. We're going to be stuck spinning tires in confidence here. We're going to be stuck spinning tires in desire and determination and drive here.
I say it to clients too, like I need you to zoom out for a second because we get so like stuck on this problem's happening right now and it's all we can see. So like I always mentally picture it as like leave yourself there and I need you to like zoom out and be like, okay, I'm there and all these things are happening and what is actually causing it. Because when the problem's right in front of our face, we often can't look anywhere else.
We hope that answers your question. If not, if it brought up more questions or you want to sidebar it, please re-ask. And the second question is, how has discovery of kink shaped how you view intimacy, relationships, and yourselves? Which is another fucking wicked question. Do you need me to read it again? How has discovery of kink shaped how you view intimacy, relationships, and yourselves?
I think I'm going to need you to go first because I don't really understand that question. I don't understand it in the sense of I'm like.
Okay, so here I can try to ask it a different way. Because I don't want to. I want to answer, but I want to see if I can ask it in a way that you can answer it. The question is for the third time out loud. How has discovery of kink shaped how you view intimacy, relationships, and yourselves? So before me the first time.
Yep.
Correct. We're still together. Before you knew kink. I know it's hard to think because I'm a whole whirlwind of things. Before me, Jill didn't have a concept of kink or BDSM or this lifestyle that we now share together and live 24/7. So I introduced her to a lot of things. But she had obviously been intimate, had sex many times before I got there. You were up to date?
Yeah.
How did... Sorry, I know the answer to the question that I would give. I know the result of me is how did the discovery of kink change how you navigate relationships, change how you navigate your own sexuality and sexual experiences and intimacy with people? And you can answer this because there was a massive gap between then and now.
Yeah.
So that's why this is a question you can really answer with direct, personally lived experience. After you, little one.
You know when people say ignorance is bliss? My eyes are really itchy. I'm not crying. I just am allergic. Oh, it's because I'm ripping off my nail polish. I'm always this.
I'm aware. I know that about you.
I'm allergic to nail glue.
I just didn't know that it would come from you ripping your nails off and playing with your hand. That's so funny. That's terrible. It's not funny. It's funny to me because why would you? Because you know those things. But also, what?
I didn't think because
no. Not... Why would you think that? Anyway, I wouldn't. That's fun.
Pre-Ethan. How did they say it? After Ethan. There's after Ethan and there's before.
Yeah, because Ethan. We've done this twice, there's going to be a pre and a post Ethan that I get to hear about. So we're going to go with pre-Ethan. Jill operated.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about kink or BDSM before Ethan, so intimate life was just like vanilla, and to my knowledge, fine. Like it was what it was. It wasn't overly exciting, but like it in air quotes did the job. Um, when I met Ethan the first time, that's when we started to explore kink and BDSM together. And the first time we dated, it was far more like beginner, a lot more tame than it is now. But uh sorry, I can hear him like running around upstairs. Um yeah, the first time we dated, I would say like the introduction to kink was
Open. Open. Little fucker, open.
I can't open. They're drowning.
They're drowning. You can talk with your head back. Let that soak in. I can give you a couple more once this stinging stops. See, I care. Like a little bit. She also likes when I pull her hair, so like it's both satisfying and satisfying. Dennis, right back to your sentence.
Yeah, the first time Ethan and I dated, I would say the like intro to kink and BDSM was far more tame than it is this time around, and obviously because it was more like let's learn. Um, and then I pieced out for 3.5 years. And I've said this on the podcast before, but one of the big reasons why my last monogamous relationship ended was because of our intimacy in that relationship, and because of our sex life. Like we were long distance. Our sex life was not good, and he didn't care. Like his theory was that, well, since we only see each other once every 3 months, it doesn't matter. And my correct
My correct. Holy hell.
my correct theory was that it should matter more because we only see each other once every 3 months. And also, I don't want to fuck you at all if you're not going to put any effort towards our sex life. So I would say, like, during that relationship, it made me realize that kink in some way is going to be important to me, and also like somebody that's going to put effort towards our sex life is like deeply important to me. Like I don't want it to be something that just like happens in passing. I don't want it to be something that's just like good enough. I don't want it to be something that just like checks the boxes. Like I wanted that to be something that was exciting and fun and new, and something that like both people put equal effort towards, and that like it was important to the person I chose to do life with. And I joke all the time that Ethan like ruined things for me, but it's not ruined. It's more of like
I said anymore.
yeah, and like this is a thing that's fun and important to me, and I should be with somebody who also views it as fun and important. And if they don't, that's fine. But then like I'm not gonna sit here and just like take what I can get because
you can get it.
because like something's better than nothing. Like that's not the world I buy into around sex and intimacy anymore, because nobody should. And I think there's like a fucked up idea with monogamy and marriage and all the things of like, well, it's better than nothing. No, I actually think nothing would be better. And like you could also probably satisfy yourself better. And I just don't
I'm 100 for 100 in self pleasure. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I just don't think sex and intimacy should be a thing that's just like, well, good enough.
Batting 1,000 over here.
Does that answer the question?
Oh, fuck yeah, baby. That was
Okay,
beautiful. No, and I have a completely different answer because I have a different lived experience, different life experience than Jill. But I wanted Jill to answer because she has a very recent and direct.
And I will say too, like whether it was coming back to Ethan or not, like this would have been something that is a non-negotiable and is a non-negotiable in my relationships moving forward. Like I love that Ethan and I are doing life together again, but if that wouldn't have been a thing, kink and
Mm-hmm.
BDSM would have been something that I was looking for in my next partnership, in my next relationship, in all of my partnerships and relationships, no matter what. It's not just because I'm with
Yeah,
Ethan.
I'm not the hinge that closes that door. Kink is that hinge. Like
It's just like really hard to find because nobody talks about it.
nobody talks about it, and and it's hard to be safe. I don't like. There's as a dominant in this lifestyle, in this life, in this world, I get to hear, hold space for, and in lots of cases, support the healing of beyond fucked up wounds from the realities of toxic mindsets in this lifestyle. Uh, so yeah, yeah, there's a lot to go in, and my answer is I will die on this mountain that kink is a very underutilized, underrated, and misunderstood therapy tool. Um, if not for kink and BDSM, I I know I would not be able to have sex and be intimate and understand the way that I do. People, society view kink and BDSM as this violent, dark, taboo thing, and I've only ever known it to come with a ridiculous amount of responsibility. I don't actually know how to say it more intensely than that. Like I have never understood kink and BDSM to be anything other than a huge responsibility, an incredible tool for healing, and a genuine space to learn about yourself and understand yourself. I was very lucky in stepping into this world with a mentor for 2 years, where I learned these rules, these unwritten mandatory guidelines to be a safe and respectful dominant in this world. Kink has helped me to understand greatly that I get to love me at any shape, size. Kink has helped reform my understanding of my own body and what I get to and what I can do with it. I've been a sex object since I was brought onto this earth. And kink showed me that I was so much more than just a sex object. That I actually had control. That I had an ability to take people places. I had the responsibility to hold safe space for people to experience and explore themselves. There's no taking breath without kink and BDSM in my life. It has shown me more about my life outside the bedroom than it has in it, and it showed me a lot of shit inside the bedroom. It's fucking fascinating. But genuinely, uh, kink and BDSM as a whole, in pieces, in parts, is just an incredible space to exist in and live in when the right people are around. I have learned a lot about myself, relationships, intimacy, safety, respect in these rooms, in these spaces, with these people. Now I get to do this with people, for people, because of people all the time. So I hope that answers your questions.
If you have more questions, as always, let us know. You're welcome to send a DM if you're not comfortable leaving a comment on the podcast. You can also just leave a comment on the podcast you're here anyways. You might as well just plop it right down as it pops into your brain. But yeah, thanks for hanging with us. This is a bit of a long one, but
Meh.
lots of thoughts, feelings, and good shares. So we hope you enjoyed the hang. Yep. As always, you can find the podcast at Shifting the Lens Podcast. Anywhere you stream, we're also on YouTube. So if you would rather throw us on your TV and look at us while you clean, you can do that as well. Please subscribe wherever you listen. We appreciate it, and we're trying to work towards more subscribers and more interaction. So if you're not already subscribed, please do. You can find me at CoachJill.April.
You can find me at Fight Me on this.
And we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.